Dikko, having 10 states already bidding for 2028, it shows that lots of state governments are looking at the sport festival as an opportunity also to show the world, I mean, what happens in their respective states, and that, you know, seeing the significance. Looking at the past, we always had issues with states hosting festivals. They'll tell you there's no funding. I mean, I remember the past Minister of Sports, Solomon Dalong, had to revive the National Sports Festival in 2018, and now states are jostling to host.
Yeah, for me, I would say it's an important one. It's showing that growth has happened since 2018 till now. That is the goal of Solomon Dalong, and at this point in time, everyone is interested. Everyone wants to see what is happening at the National Sports Festival. This is because it has been rebranded. It has been, repackaged. And with the way the NSC is going about it, talking about Shehu Dikko and DG Olopade, they've made it as our own Olympics. And believe you me, if the country's Olympics is holding in your state or is being held in your state, it has a lot of advantages. Do you understand? So I think that's why about 10 or more, states are vying to host the 2028 Sports Festival, because they've seen the potentials it has that it will bring to their state. The exposure, bringing new people, exposing their culture as well to the outside world. So for me, it's an important one, and it's a very good problem for the NSC chairman and his DG, Bukola Olopade. It's a very good problem, and I'm sure that they will choose the right people or the right individual states to fix it.
All right, before we move on from here, I'd like to ask you this question. Now, we've seen the National Sports Festival being hosted by different zones. The last time Edo State hosted, the next state that hosted was another state in the South Delta State. When you look at the world system, for instance, the Olympics, the maybe Commonwealth Games and across board, they try to look at zoning. For instance, Tokyo 2020 Olympics, and the next country that hosted, we saw that it was the Paris 2024 Olympics. Before then, we had the Gold Coast, that's in Australia. In Nigeria, do you think that states, regions should be looked at in terms of the host, or we should just give it to any state that you think is ready and have shown interest? For instance, if a state in the West, for instance, Lagos, say they want to host the next two festivals or next 2028 edition, if they are ready, why not? Instead of having it to go to another zone, another part of the 6 political zones.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you on the fact that it should actually go to whoever is ready. We've seen problems happen at the National Sports Festival due to unavailability of the host states to put the right things in order. And let's not politicize the National Sports Festival. One of the aims of the National Sports Festival, is to bring together different people of different tribes, of different regions. And that is why, at the National Sports Festival, someone that originates from Ekiti can actually play for Delta, right? So that's the aim of the National Sports Festival. So let's not politicize it. Let's not use a zoning. Whoever is ready should be given. And I have on first account that Lagos is part of those bidding for the 2028. If Lagos is ready, Lagos will be hosting the youth games in the next year.
I just hope the Lagos State government right now, I mean, when you say 2028, it means that this is the, I think if I'm not mistaken, the second term already for the Lagos State government, currently, because that means they have to, no government changes, and the next 4 years, the next election is 2027. What if the new government comes on board and they say, okay, we do not, I mean, what happens then? All right, we come back to Dikko. Interesting conversations right here when it comes to the National Sports Festival. 10 states already bidding to host the 2028 edition. And Lagos State, according to Dikko, from his sources, have also indicated interest to host the 2028 edition. The only facility I would say Lagos State has that is functional at the moment is the Mobolaji Johnson Arena. It doesn't even have a track for athletics. The one that has a track is the National Stadium and the Teslim Balogun Stadium, which of course is not up to standard at the moment. Maybe they might also refurbish and look at it, but Lagos State far away when you look at readiness, but anything can actually happen. But Dikko, yes, welcome back. We're talking about Lagos State. I mean, you and I know that when it comes to facility, Mobolaji Johnson Arena does not have athletics. It doesn't even have any other sporting except for football pitch. You come to the National Stadium in Sulere, and also Teslim Balogun Stadium. These stadiums are not up to standard, are not up to shape. You think that would be, really possible, knowing fully well that government will change it might not really change in terms of whatever happens. 2027 will be a big decision towards 2028 National Sports Festival.
Yeah, you see, one of the beautiful things I like about Lagos, I love Lagos, is the fact that there's always a pattern. There's a chart to be followed, by each administration. As long as the political, administration gets into place. You understand? So there's a chart that each political affiliations follow. So for me, I believe that Lagos State do have the capacity to host. Now, I've done a proper screening on some of these facilities you've mentioned about. I've been mobilizing Johnson, and definitely we know that is only meant for football. But even as of this time, even the football, would not be too good on the turf, because the turf is almost, is a write-off at this point. But when you look at the National Stadium, this is a facility that is under construction, is under renovation at this point. We were in a meeting with the DG, Lagos State Sports Commission, a couple of nights ago, and it talked about the facility being set and being ready even before the National Youth Games. I do not forget that Lagos will be hosting the Youth Games next year, if I'm very correct. And the facilities must be in place before they can even host the Youth Games. So I think if they can get all the facilities in place, if they can get all the stadiums, the settings, if they can get everyone involved in place, and they can host a successful National Youth Games, then definitely they can go all the way to host, the country in the next, edition. That's the 2028 edition of the National Sports Festival.
All right, I like your confidence, Gbemi Dikko. Lagos can host. Lagos is ready, but we'll wait to see how it goes. Let's move on now. The Golden Eaglets will play for bronze in the football event at the 22nd National Sports Festival after a 2-1 semi-final loss to Team Ogun in Ikene Remo. Team Kwara advanced to the final with a 1-0 win over Team Kaduna and will face Ogun State on Tuesday at the MKO Abiola Sports Complex. In the women's event, Nigeria's under-17 girls, the Flamingos booked a spot in the final after edging Team Ogun 1-0, courtesy of a late penalty converted by Shakirat Moshood. They will face Team Delta, who trashed Team Osun State 4-1 in the semi-final. Now, third-place matches are scheduled for the Remo Star Stadium, while both finals will take place in Abeokuta. All right, Gbemi Dikko, all right, let's talk about the women's football. Of course, the men's football we have seen finalists already emerge. The IJA initiative is still ongoing with the Flamingos and the men, sad one. But of course, what do you make of the football scene so far?
For me, I would say it's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see the fact that the IJA actually making progress. It's also an opportunity for these young athletes, talking about the Flamingos and the Golden Eaglets, to have a game time with themselves, even before other international competitions, which we hardly see happen. So it's a competitive fixture for them, and they've been doing very well, punching above their weights. It's to show you that I think the idea of the NSC, championed by Bukola Olopade, has been so beautiful to see. You see young athletes going on out there, going against experienced and established athletes and getting points and getting gold medals. It's good to see. For footballers, though, talking about Team Ogun has been exceptional. And I did a proper finding, and I noticed that they have a couple of Remo Stars players in the squad. So I said, I think whoever would get to win, whoever would get to defeat that Team Ogun squad, would have to do a lot of job, apart from, talking about the on-field play, because the psychological effect is there. You are playing established players already, majority of whom were champions just a few weeks ago. So I think Team Ogun definitely should win the gold medal. There is no doubt about that. There's so much quality in that side. I saw the side play live, and I was like, wow, this is beautiful to see. For a team to defeat, the official under-17 national team, definitely there is more to their game than what you see on the field of play here.
All right, I must say a big thank you to you, Gbemi Dikko Popola, for your quality time. Always amazing talking about the National Sports Festival with you. We'll allow you go and enjoy and have fun while covering our respective games at the National Sports Festival. Thank you very much for joining.
Thanks so much for having me.